thing right here?
Yeah, tell me about it.
It's letting all the people know
Ooh, what's that?
what burnouts talk about.
Yeah, what did they talk about, baby?
You know, the chronic. Check it out. Ooh, that bud's so scandalous. You hit it too hard, you can't handle this. So you're smoking that thing, then you pass it to us with that look in your eyes so devious. You inhale with all you got. Suck it down hard till you see and dots. And your body's on the ground, but your mind is not. Cause you
ready, Jerry?
I'm ready.
Just want to make sure you're ready, brother. Show me the money.
Oh, you didn't know?
Every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling.
Put my shoes on, you wouldn't last a mile. Summertime, wintertime, on the grind. Yeah, I got the ring, I'm the champ, I'm the genie of the lamp.
This is the gift I was given, so I just live by my hustle.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
Yeah.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
Yeah.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I give me put in my pocket. It don't make sense, but don't make a profit. So I hustle, ladies and homies. Make money, 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 money.
It's hard out here for a pill. When he tryna get this money for the real.
I want to find a thing to save my life. So I hustle.
It ain't over for me. No, it ain't over for me.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Show me the money!
Okay, let's go smoke that joint.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody!
Oh, yeah. You damn right. Back in the house for this wake and bake. And Bogey was in there, went into the Matrix, and now he's back. So you were only gone for like 3 seconds here, but how long were you actually gone? The year is 2022.
About 4 days. Yeah, I mean, still wearing the same thing. So it's about 4 days.
Got in the time machine real quick.
I'm like a real life cartoon character. I might wear the same shit like all the time. You know what I mean? I legit got like 5 of these shirts because I got them from this one training camp I went to.
Nice.
Yeah, so like I can wear these shirts all week and it'll, you know what I mean? Like a regular Bart Simpson.
Hell yeah. Man, Ron's getting goofy in the morning. He said, we wake and bake because this show at Fake, if you master the snake, you get to eat the cake.
Man, if he's from Philly, bro, you should rhyme better than that. Just being from Philly, bro. It's in your Geno.
You can't go on the corner with that rap, man. You're gonna
very disappointed.
Antonio, what up?
That was like watching Brandon Schaub do comedy.
Yeah, Anthony, what up? What up? So this is the Anthony from the Get Right fantasy show that I was telling you.
Nice,
about.
the Afro. We were just talking about that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Anthony and all them and over there at Get Right. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. And Garrett, what up, bro? He said it's my son's first B-day. Happy birthday, Brady.
Happy birthday to the little man. Hey, you know what I'm saying? And happy parent day to you as well. Is that what they call it?
I don't know. We need to make up a parent day, right? We should get every birthday our kids make it to. We should get some kind of present for
yeah, you know what? I got 4 kids, bro. That's a lot of gifts I'm missing out on.
Man, or we just need to get back to doing the unbirthdays, you know, because I could get behind that.
You know what? I think I'm really gonna start lobbying for this. My kids gotta start giving me more gifts, bro.
Yeah, it's your.
I gave them the gift of life. You give me monetary gain. give me. Actually, you know what? I want more school projects. I like those little. Like my daughter, she made me a Father's Day card, but you know they got out of school way before Father's Day, so they had to do that. So she had it under wraps.
Yeah.
For a minute, you know, I was like, you know what I mean? I was like, whoa. I had one of those Dave Chappelle moments, like, dang, you came from my balls. Like,
this is fucking crazy.
This is fucking crazy.
You used to live in my balls, man. Now you out here making jewelry out of macaroni. You a bad motherfucker.
I'm saying though.
I'll never forget that shit. I wasn't a dad back then. I know you already were at that point, or about to become a dad at that point. Because I was like, what, 2007, 2008, some shit like that.
I have my first one already.
Yeah.
Unless it came out earlier 2007, because my first one was born November 2007. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, she about to be 15, bro. That shit's crazy.
Time flies, man.
The motherfucker calls me bruh. You know what I mean?
Man. Yeah, it's crazy. Because I'll always tell Noble to chill out, bro. But man, when he says that back to me, like, I don't know.
It's like, what, bro?
Type of way.
Like, you better chill out, bro, with that shit.
He's too crazy for a 5-year-old, man. Because you know, sometimes I'll be messing around, you know, like, oh, I need to put you in a headlock, or I need to smack you around, you know, even though I'm not gonna do it. And but he'll try to come at me that way, and like he'll really come up and jump off the couch and put me in the headlock.
He's a man of his word.
Yeah, he doesn't mess around.
We don't do the theatrics. We actually say the crazy shit we're about to do.
And Dion said, "What's up, ladies?" And shouting out all the smoking emojis. Let's get it.
Yeah.
And Anthony, so he's from California, and shouting out the bang bang bogey. And he said, "I like that hat. I want the white and red one like that."
You know what's funny is, man, we bought this for my little man. When I was at that training camp, they had all type of fucking merches out there. You know what I mean? Like, and of course the shit's gonna be hella higher price and shit. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My son, he has big ass dome. He was like 1 year old at the time. You know what I mean? And I'm like, so I got him this fisherman joint, bruh. And then like, this ain't even adult size. This is the kid joint. But you know, I was like, you know, I'm rocking that. Now you know what I'm saying? I'm like, listen, son, you can wear daddy's hat. I'm rocking this shit. This shit's wild.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, like,
Albert, what up, brother? What's going on?
this
And
fucking.
Garrett said, thanks for the shout outs and the love. This podcasting crew are my kind of people. I appreciate you, bro. And thanks for getting signed up as a YouTube member. Always appreciate that. And let me see if anyone else doesn't know how to sign up as a YouTube member. The link is in the description now. I didn't have it there for the longest time, but it's in the description. You get all the custom 420 emojis that you will not find on any channel except this. Like, I literally made those emojis myself and made sure to put in some dope ones. And,
I seen him.
Yeah, I seen it.
I've seen it. I've seen it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna
bro, this fucking wedding cake is just resonating the motherfucker out of this joint. My shit, I'm about to have hella like blurple lips, bro.
And let me see. Yeah, and Dion said, "Best community out here." Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And Ron said, "I am against the use of cannabis. I cannot morally get behind supporting this what is that? Bastion of a sin." This is like Chong when we were doing the Cheech and Chongs.
Hey,
no, man.
Hey, listen,
I'm not responsible for turning you into a drug addict, man.
Right?
Don't be some shit, man. Let me get some.
That ain't the real Ron.
It's not. Ron's been hacked.
That's doppelganger Ron. Ron got nudged into an alternate, a parallel universe. So we got this other version of him that thinks he can rhyme, and he's a straight edger. Fuck that guy.
Ron is definitely in the Matrix right now.
Bring back the old Ron, the asshole. The asshole version is the best.
All right. Well, I smoked this bowl. We need some audience participation here. So as we kind of creep up on July, you know, we got the best ball tournament about to start, all these drafts.
I think we're 70 days away from kickoff.
We're close. I know it was a couple days ago. You said like 75 or 76. So we got to be close. We got to be getting closer to that 69 number.
69, dudes.
Hold on. Check that out. How many days? Just ask Siri. Say, hey, be like, hey Siri, how many days until September 8th? I think this might be the 69th day.
Hey Siri. How many days?
Hey Siri, how many days until September 8th?
It's 72 days until then.
Oh,
72 days.
Oh shit, I was in the Matrix. That's right.
You were in the Matrix for those 4 days.
Yeah, that's right. The goddamn Matrix.
There we go. And Ron
Hey,
said,
gas is hella high in the Matrix.
Man, Ron, he said September 8th is his wife's birthday. Man, how are you going to get the hall pass to be able to watch Thursday Night Football with us? Or wait, that's the Thursday Night Football joint, right?
I mean, he's in the East Coast time too, right? So like it's like late. It's crazy. It's late over there. And my brother-in law's from Jersey, and when he first moved out here, he was so stoked. He was like, "I get to watch all the games, bro, and go to sleep early." You know what I mean? Like all the basketball, because think about it, basketball don't start till 10 over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the 7 o'clock late games. 7 o'clock for us. Yeah, I mean, that's why West Coast is the best coast. You know, I mean, some days I do feel like, you know, I wake up at like 10 o'clock or whatever. I'm like, shit, it's already like 1 o'clock on the East Coast. I feel like
missing half the day.
But then we get it to where, people are nodding off, you know, at halftime of, Monday Night Football and shit. And I'm like, man, I like this. You know, like I like being able to, I like getting up early and knowing that games start in like 2 hours. You know, like you get up on the East Coast all early, games might not start for 5-6 hours.
See, here's my thing too, is like, I'm still going to get up at 6 in the morning or sometimes even 5:30 on a Sunday because I have several pacing to do still before the games. You know what I mean? Like I hate that I'm that guy. I'm always waiting down some decision. And it might not even be because of injuries, like 2 players, like hella nitpicking. You know what I mean? Yeah. Then do the Sunday shows. And before that, I usually lock in whatever decision I gotta make. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't like that last 5-minute scramble.
Usually, I'm really got to get out of that last 5-minute scramble this year. Last year I got a little bit better, but there was still a couple weeks where like I literally just doing like the triple check, you know, because it's probably about 3 times throughout the week that I'm looking through the entire roster, you know, and like Sunday is like that last like triple check of just making sure I didn't leave anyone in there on accident or shit like that.
Hey, see, here's the thing. The fucking dynasty leagues, they kind of take care of themselves, right? It's like, you know what I mean? Those things pretty much take care of themselves because, you know what I mean? I don't really got to look at those. You know
if I got to make a pickup on Sunday for a dynasty league like that.
Yeah, it's bad. Exactly. So the dynasty leagues, you just kind of have to just keep your hand on the steering wheel type shit. The redrafts, you know what I mean? That's the ones where I'm like, fuck. Especially, you know what fucks me up is the ones that are worth more money. I start like overthinking the decisions even more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the tough part because
or like the non-engaging leagues where it's like it's straight money. Ain't nobody really talking. You know what I mean? Outside of like making trade offers, ain't nobody talking, no banter. It's just money. You know what I mean? I always do well in those. You know what I mean?
Right, because
like the other ones where I got enemies and I got some rivals. And fucking, you know what I mean?
If it's any kind of normal league where people aren't degenerates, I guess I know you got some degenerates in your home leagues who probably aren't that active in the chat and shit like that. And same thing with me. I mean, couple home leagues where guys like they're not engaged, you know, in talking shit, but
they're some bad motherfuckers.
Yeah, they're not sleeping on anything they're doing either. And how do I say this? On the road said I'm so high I had 2 bong rips right when I woke up and died. I like it.
Hey man,
that's the way to do it.
My fucking stand keeps bending down. Now I'm so high. There we go.
This is only my first bowl of the day, so I'm gonna get there. But we're gonna smoke a lot on here, and I got the dabs ready to go if we need to kick this into high gear.
There you go. Oh, I see what you did there. That's good wordplay.
Yeah, and Ron said my home league won't trade with me anymore. See, and I mean that's one of the things that I hate about the home leagues, you know, and you can relate it to that show, The League. Everyone's jaded, you know, because everyone's gotten over on someone in the past, or everyone's traded with someone who like the trade went bad, and you blame them.
I'm a repeat offender in the right way, though. You know what I mean? I made trades. I would come through. Okay, look, last year. I wanted Devontae Adams off the homie, right? And me and this guy never make trades, bro. And shout out to my man Nancy. He never make, and for a living, he's a salesman, right? So he always prides himself. And I'm like, that's why no one ever makes trades with you, bro. And like, so I come to him with he needed running back, and then Devontae Adams just got like an ankle tweak or whatever the fuck it was. So I come at him with DeAndre Hopkins and a motherfucking Michael Carter. This is probably like week 3 or whatever it was. You know what I mean? Maybe going into week 2, whatever, last year. You know what I mean? And people are like, oh shit, they're tripping. that he actually made a trade. You know what I mean? And then of all people with me, because everyone, and then like when they said like, oh, of all people, he makes a trade with Bogard. I'm like, what the fuck? Like all I'm ever doing, like I came at him with, okay, here I want Adams now. All of a sudden, you know what I mean? Don't ask me why, but here's Nuke and here's Michael Carter. You need running back too, and he's like, boom. You know what I mean? Came at somebody when they need, and the Nuke was more. It was like a 1-to-1 in that to him at that moment because Nuke wasn't hurt yet. You know what I mean? Right. And I'm taking Devontae after he had an ankle tweak. Guess what? He didn't miss any time that week. You know what I mean? But I went in there and bought him right when I could. So maybe that's where the Bogard shit comes in because I swooped in once I knew he was motherfucking missing practice. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, for me, it's like you already know. Like I don't make a shit ton of trades because I feel like my skills, you know, with the waiver wire, no matter what, can get me into like the top 4. And then if I had a good draft, you know, with my waiver wire skills, I might be able to make it all the way to the championship and then hopefully win. But man, there's just like with the trades, it is all about these calculated trades, just like you said, where I mean, it's someone's emotional strings, you know, being pulled, like something really bad going down.
Yeah, like Big Ben gets COVID on a Saturday. God fucking damn it. And then someone outbids you for a fucking racist Rudolph because I got fucking Big Ben Rapisburger. And Hustler over here is the Dynasty League. And of course, I don't have racist Rudolph. Fuck him. And you know what I mean? And you know what? I'm like, what am I going to bet? You know what? I'm going to bet $1 on this bitch ass. Fuck him. And I think you might even bet like 5 or 10. Not even nothing crazy.
It wasn't a lot. It wasn't a lot,
man. But I only put it in. And then the next morning, I'm trying to trade for him. And all in all, I'm trying to give him like a 5th. He's like, nope, a 3rd. And I'm like, how about a 4th? And he's like, nope, 3rd. And then he's like, you know what? 2nd. And I'm like, give me the 3rd. And we're on this motherfucking show before the Sunday starts. And here's the thing, too. It was like he did the full Bogard to me. He's like, they're playing Detroit. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, they are playing Detroit. I kind of need him. Probably would have been better off going in with just one QB and do something in my Superflex for that week.
Oh, that was nice. I Bogarded Bogard.
Yeah, well done.
Definitely get a.
I mean, it's an adverb, right? What's an adverb? An action?
It's
been so long.
I don't know the difference between a verb and an adverb. Not gonna lie. We'll
you know,
just say the verb.
We'll just say the verb.
Bogard.
My second oldest, she's about to be in 4th grade. I remember a couple years ago, I had to learn all that shit again. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, where's the adverbs at? Because that Bogard's an adverb, right? It's a motherfucking action. God damn it.
Bogard all day, every day.
It's motherfucking, and then we scot free. God damn it.
Yeah, I really can't wait. These 3 QB leagues, which I don't know if anybody has done this before or if I'm the one that created it. So I'm just going to say that I created it because I've never seen anybody with a league that you start 2 QBs and
hey, you know what's crazy? Shout out to my man Steamboat. Him and his brother, they do these, and you can the 10-team 3 QB joints.
Well, there we go. It seems like everything me and Steamboat are on.
I'm telling you, bro, you guys are like simpatico. I ain't never seen both of y'all in the same place at once, neither. And he always tries to get me, motherfuckers. You know, because listen, they call it the fish leagues, bro. Not the Scott Fish Bowl, but the fish leagues. Because like this dude, his brother-in-law, this motherfucker has one of them football camps. You know what I mean? So it's hella dads, bro. So every year they just have these fish leagues where it's just it's the $100 buy-in, but it's the 3 QB shit. You know what I mean? And they have like 4 or 5 of these leagues every year. And they just recycle all these people. He's like, yeah, it's the fish leagues, bro. You know, because like poker shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because people they just be getting these football dads, bro. Sad.
Yeah. Be coming in, they don't even know what the hell they're getting in.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm not spending $100 on this motherfucker. Like, I you know what I mean? I wasn't with that. I like being in fierce leagues for money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, one day, I mean, I know we know.
I get mad when I lose in those leagues, bro. If I lose in the fish league, I'm hella mad, bro. Fuck that shit. I'm supposed to dominate these motherfuckers. I'm like the highest point scorer or some bullshit. Whatever the fuck. Fuck that shit. Fuck fish leagues.
Man, those are going to be so fucking fun, man. I mean, I don't know exactly what's in their fish leagues, but for me,
No, fish leagues as in like fools that had never really played before.
Oh, new booty leagues.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, you can't lose in those leagues like that.
No, fuck that.
Wouldn't feel good.
Motherfuckers is starting like fucking. I mean, I hate that whenever someone makes like hero calls or because they don't know about fantasy.
Right.
Like it might be probably the first guy that started Rashad Penny last year. I was like, you know what? He's been starting them all year. You know what I mean? Then when he goes off, they're like, what the fuck? And he's like a Seahawks fan or something. You know what I mean? I hate leagues like that.
Yeah, it's probably someone who was on Rashad Penny, like, you know, like every year. This is gonna be his year. This is gonna be his breakout year.
For real though.
And then like the whole year he's like saying it. It's gonna be his breakout year. It's gonna be his breakout year. And then it
okay,
happened,
I like history. You ready for history?
Yeah.
Okay, my Niners, right? Do we not repeat the same rushing leader on the team ever since the Shanahan era, right? You've pointed this out before.
And it was Mitchell last year, right?
It was Mitchell last year, right? I still like Mitchell because I think like, you know, things can change. But, you know,
I'm playing the numbers with Mitchell.
But I say this every year, and I'm wrong every year about Shanahan's backfield. And you know what's funny? I always just get the later guy anyway. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean,
yeah, just have them all, really. Have them all. Because, like, you know what I'm saying? The reality is that it's usually because motherfuckers start dying, and the next man stands up. You know what I mean? But anyways.
And AU said, do you guys have a PS5? I do not. The only time I was able to acquire a PS5, I raffled it off. And so, no. I will get one day.
I got one, but that I ain't gonna stunt. It's still my daughter got it from her godfather, one of my best friends.
Is it being used at least?
Remember that?
Yeah, is it being used at least?
Nah, it's still in the box, man.
Damn, and I thought she's trying to be a gamer.
She's an Xbox head.
Oh, okay.
So like she hasn't even set it up, and I'm like, all right, you know what I mean? It's cool. Because like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put that thing in my loft. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I mean, if no one else is gonna use it, you might as well get it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And Ron said, I won't get a PS5 until the PS6 comes out.
Hey, that thing's coming out sooner than later, too. Watch, man.
What up, Crispy? Nah, it's not coming out that soon.
What up, Crispy?
Like, they got to give it like 7 to 10 years because, like, they don't actually make any money off the PS5 console itself.
It'll be the motherfucking
all the accessories and all the memberships and all that shit that they make money off of. They lose money on the PlayStation console itself.
It's true. PS5 and a half.
Yeah, and there we go. Antonio popping in said, I got the PS5 from the raffle on this channel. Hell yeah.
Yeah. He was like, someone said PS5?
He popped in real quick.
That's my birthday twin. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. Hey, check this out. What was that? Okay, so history. History, right? Seattle. In history, right? We'll take you back. They draft Rashad Penny in the first round.
Probably should have been San Diego State, so I was like hyped about that. I was like, yeah, getting San Diego State, some first round capital love.
And look at this though. In all actuality, they probably couldn't trade back because that's what they do. They'll trade out of the back of the first, get more picks. They probably still would have got Rashad Penny, but no one wanted to trade out. You know what? Give me Rashad Penny. You know what I'm saying? They got Chris Carson. He's coming off the ACL thing. And they also brought in Mike Davis in free agency, former Niner. You know what I mean? And he never really saw the field as a Niner at all. You know what I mean? Because I think he was coming off ACL, whatnot. Check this out. Rashad Penny, just all kind of injuries. First of all, he shows up to camp, he's hella overweight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and didn't he get hurt like in camp?
Like in camp. Like he showed up to mini camp. He's a little overweight. You know what I'm saying? And then they're already saying like, oh, you know, when you go from college ball to the combine, all this shit, getting ready for all that, he should have been like in shape. You know what I mean? So, to be out of shape by the time he got to mini camp, then like training camp,
being a first rounder. Come on,
training camp. I think he gets some kind of soft tissue joint or something, bro. But I know in the preseason he fractures a finger. You remember that? He fractured a finger, so then like it went in like Chris
I don't remember
Carson
what happened.
Chris Carson stole the show.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
because they were both drafted the same. They're both drafted the same year, right? Or was it Chris Carson was one
Chris
year
Carson
before?
Chris Carson was the year before.
Okay.
Yeah, and he was tearing it up that year too.
Yeah.
I mean, not tearing up. He was showing flashes. Matter of fact, he tore his ACL. It was a Sunday nighter in 2017 against the Russ-led Seahawks versus the Jacoby Myers, the grilled beef brisket, the meat slab himself led Colts, and Chris Carson was running the big one, bruh. He was to the house and he just tore his shit. It was fucking non-contact, if I remember. Anyways, so he came back in 18 with a vengeance, bruh. You know what I mean? And then when he got hurt, because here's the thing: when you got ACLs, you're gonna be nagged with hamstrings, bro. Like it's one of those things you can go back. You could even look at that same year, 2018, Dalvin Cook. He was coming off the ACL from 17. Boom, hamstrings. You know what I'm saying? So like Chris Carson missed like chunks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was
and that's been like I can't even think of a running back that they've had in the last 10 years who didn't miss chunks, because we could go back almost like what, like maybe like 8 years. You remember Thomas Rawls? Like, man, like one of the playoff darlings.
See, Marshawn had what? When did Marshawn get there? 2012?
2012 and 2013, right?
2011.
Okay. Yeah, because he was there the year before the Super Bowl, right?
The Beastquake.
Yeah.
That was 2011. So
yeah.
Maybe he was there 2010 then, because that was the 2011 January. Either way, he was there already. He went strong till that Thomas Rawls year. You know what I mean? Because that was when he finally went down. He was having like core injuries. Like you're right. 2014, after the 2014 year, and then 2015 was the Thomas Rawls.
Beast Mode and Sean Alexander. Those are like the only ones that I can think of who are like made it through seasons.
I think Steezy had Sean Alexander on his show one time.
What?
I think so.
That's cool. I mean,
that's that Seahawks running back, right?
Yeah, I mean, back when I started 2006, I mean, shit, he was like the guy to have. I mean, he like single-handedly led them to the Super Bowl that year.
I remember that.
They had Hasselback, and I can't remember who they had at like wide receiver and shit.
Hey, shit, that was the year Hasselback said, "We want." What did he say? He said, "We want heads, and we're going to Super Bowl." he said something like that. He said, "Remember they're doing a coin flip."
Yeah.
In overtime, they're doing a coin flip, and he says, "We want heads, and we're gonna win." And he throws a big six. Oh, they were moving down the field too.
Yeah, it was looking nice.
Correctly, it was like bing, bing. They were down the field, and then boom, the big six to end it all.
Yeah. And Anthony said, Rawls, man, I love that guy, baby beast mode, but he could never quite get over the hump. So I remember.
And then after Thomas Rawls, they start, you know what I mean? And because Chris Carson, what was it? When did Chris Carson come? Oh, after Thomas Rawls, they fooled around with Alex. What's the dude? The river dancing motherfucker.
Alex Collins.
Alex Collins. And then, who else did they have, bruh? They had a bunch of busted ass motherfuckers, bro. They brought in Eddie Lacy at one point. Remember that? They brought in Eddie Lacy.
Yeah, that's really like all they fucking did, was keep having these like.
It was Chris Carson. Hey, listen, Chris Carson made me love Seattle's running back again because Chris Carson just ate.
Yeah, and I mean, got him in the 7th round. I mean, see that I guess that's the issue with Seattle is they get so many
here's
guys
my thing.
Late.
Here's why I brought this whole thing up, the history shit. Would it be far-fetched that history repeats itself, that we all want Ken Walker to be this guy, but then like Rashad Penny is clearly the better one, you know what I mean? And as long as he stays healthy, he's gonna keep that role, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but see, like that's the thing. Like as long as he stays healthy, like I mean, we got to go all the way back to beast mode, like I said, to get one running back from Seattle that like stays healthy the entire year. So I mean, they get like one guy every 10 years that stays healthy for like a season or like 2 seasons, and I mean, maybe Penny could be that guy, but I don't think he is. Like that.
Yeah, I don't think he's that guy neither.
Not with his track record.
But I'm just saying, no crazy old senile Pete Carroll, old Pete as I call him.
Penny's the
Right?
starter. He's for sure the starter, but is he gonna stay there? Like, barring health, sure. But
I hope this at least
I don't
drops.
think he's gonna bar health.
Because I would bet on Ken Walker getting the job eventually because of a Penny injury. You know what I mean?
See, here's gonna be the fucked up thing about Kenneth Walker is like in these drafts, he's either gonna get overdrafted like hell, or he's just going to get slept on. There's going to be kind of no in between. So the leagues where he's slept on, I'll be swooping, like 9th round, 10th round, because he will go in some of these leagues.
And we're mostly in Superflex too. So
well, yeah, for sure. Yeah, single QB, like shit. He might go in the 5th round in single QB because people might be getting stupid, over there. But he's going to be like a Nick Chubb guy. Like, mark my words. Like, you don't draft him. The people who draft him really high may just cut bait with them, because they're so pissed after like 5, 6, 7 weeks of him like being like maybe a flex guy if you're lucky.
I don't know. Penny will die out sooner than later.
I mean, that's why I said week 6, 7. Like
and that's why I like the Nick Chubb analogy too, because that's what Carlos Hyde was during that year in 2018.
Hell yeah.
It was like, man, Carlos Hyde always dies, bro. I'm a Niner. I know this motherfucker always dies at one point, some type of injury. You know what I mean? So I just held on to Nick Chubb.
They got rid of him before he died.
A lot of people cut him. And then you know what they did? They did it for us. They traded him.
Yeah.
They're like, you know what? Fuck him. Before he dies, let's get something out of him.
That is so awesome. I remember that, man. Like, man, that move gives me chills because like I won 3 championships that year, and that was at that point that was the most championships I'd ever won in a season, and a lot of it was due to that Nick Chubb move because I had 8 teams that year, and I got him in all 8 leagues like hella quick, and he just made my team go from like
what made me hot?
What?
It was like I had him in most of my leagues already, but the ones that I didn't have him because I missed the news early. And then it's, of course, the person that throws it in the thread is the person that went and made the move first. And was like, hey, y'all see that? They traded Carlos Hyde. Like, what? Everyone runs like, oh, son of a bitch. Got him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, I hate those limited leagues, too, where it's like that's why I don't play in most of those home leagues no more. I mean, I only really have the 2 home leagues, and I have the other ones I really call them degenerate leagues because it's the $200 buy-ins, like whatever degenerates we can find now.
Yeah,
as well as spend $200 in dual fucking super flex. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That shit was awesome because I didn't draft him in any of those leagues, and he was drafted in 100% of those leagues, and he was like dropped like anywhere from like 1 week before to maybe 3 or 4 weeks before that happened. People were so pissed about Nick Chubb, and then like. There was so many teams where I just picked him up and he was like a flex option because I already had 2 solid RBs. So it was just like cheating at that point in some of these leagues, like adding him in because there's always going to be like a high-end RB2 or like some kind of RB1 who comes up on the waiver wire every single year. No fucking matter what. It may only be for a couple weeks time. You got to be the guy to get that motherfucker because like, man, it is going to feel so good. When like for me, another big one, got to take it all the way back to 2010 is Peyton Hillis. So man, this dude was a fucking savage because I mean, he played for the Browns, white running back, so he's a gym rat, no one's really thinking too much about him. And he's drafted hella late. I wanted no part of him, so I didn't draft him anywhere. This is back when I maybe only played in like 2 leagues or something. I mean, it's like 12 years ago. And I remember someone dropped him. Like it was like they dropped him for a bye week. And then like I'm just looking at all the guys, who are available on free agent. I see him and I look at his upcoming schedule and I cannot remember the schedule, but I was like, damn, this team just gave up hella yards. This team just gave up hella yards. It was like 7 teams in a row.
It was a moment where it clicked to you.
Yeah, it's like 7 teams in a row that were giving up the booty to running backs. And I was like, you know what? I'm locking this guy in now on his bye week. And we're just going to throw him in the flex next week and see what happens. And he goes on this incredible tear where like he's like the RB1 in fantasy for like a 7 week stretch.
What's crazy about that is the dreaded shallow bench. Like remember the
they only had five bench spots in that league.
Yeah, like the hard to start super flex. I can remember. I'm the champion, by the way, right? I won that thing. Bruh had dropped Sony Michel. Somebody just dropped Sony Michel. Like like Henderson was coming back or whatever, and then so someone just dropped them. They were on a bye week. I'm like, oh shit! And I swooped them. You know what I'm saying? It was like a 2-day clearance type of claim. You know what I mean? And it was when I saw it, it was like a Friday, or a Thursday. So I got them on the fucking the Sunday morning. I was like, hell yeah! And like, you know what I mean? I remember I was holding on to whatever kind of handcuff, but I was like, listen, this is like, I'm looking at the schedule and the fact that Henderson was like, he's just that type of motherfucker, bro. And then sure enough, bro, he got hurt like the next week. And then I had Sonny Michel now, you know what I mean? But it was like, damn, like, that's one of those moves, bro. It saved me. That move,
Albert said Peyton Hillis on the Madden cover. Like, that second half stretch of his season got him the Madden cover.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And that was it. That was it. He didn't do shit after that half of a
season. He was on the Madden cover.
Yeah, I mean, everything went to shit after that.
And you like that.
And it was really, he got blessed with a really nice schedule, for that second half of the season. And like, it always kind of like Baker always kind of reminded me of like that Peyton Hillis year, because like, it was like the second half of the season, everything just kind of lined up for him, and, soft schedule here and there. And
you talk, yeah, I mean, shit. That's what it's all about, especially after the first 4 weeks of the year, we start to figure out like, okay, we could bully these teams right here with the run, or we can bully these corners right here with receivers. You know what I mean? You start being able to map out like where you can stream things.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Especially or even like on the IDP side of things. I mean, there's going to be people who are like, oh, you guys like don't know more about offense because you do IDP. And I'll say 100% bullshit, because I know who the beast linebackers are on the team. You got beast linebackers. That means your running back isn't going to be getting off extra crazy. If you got crazy free safeties, that means your fucking QB might not be able to take as many deep shots as they normally would. If your corners are just stacked, that means they're going to be going short and going across the middle of the field.
I mean, the irony of that statement is like, I learned IDP because of trying to learn everything on the offensive side for fantasy purposes. You know what I mean? Like, you got to know the defensive players and who you can and can't try. You know what I mean? You feel me? Like,
yeah. And that's why I like it. It definitely helps. And whew. Yeah, that was a good one right there. And I was going to ask this earlier, but we got off on a tangent. All right, since we're getting into July and August, shit right around the corner, what kind of content do you guys want to see? I mean, I already know what kind of content we're going to be coming up with throughout the season, but outside of mock drafts, what kind of content do you want to see us doing? Because that's something I'm always curious about. I want to make sure I give the people something that they really, really want to watch. Fuck. And yeah, Dion, here's another one. I picked up Connor off the waiver wire week 1 in my home league, dropped him week 8. What the hell? I guess I didn't see that part coming. Biggest mistake I ever made in my life was RB1, was an RB heavy, and I had to get a wide receiver. Let me give you one worse than that. Okay. One move that I made, someone picked him up and it won him a championship when Odell Beckham Jr. was a rookie. I didn't draft him, but I mean, we already remember like how hyped he was at the time. He missed like the first like 7 or 8 weeks or some shit like that because he was hurt. And I remember picking him up right away, like a week before he came back. And I held on to him for a couple weeks, and I dropped him because I was so wide receiver heavy in that league. I dropped him like 1 or 2 weeks before his magical fucking run. And hands down, I would have won a championship had I fucking kept him, because I mean, shit, he was like the number 1 wide receiver in the league for like a fucking 6-week stretch or some shit like that. And yeah, so I mean, I've made a move like that too. It still haunts me to this day. And that shit was like 2016 or 2017. I can't remember what year it was.
It was 2014.
2014. There we go. Even farther fucking back. Man,
that's like 8 years ago.
You know what? Fuck 2014. That was my worst year in fantasy.
Okay, look it.
I made 3 championships, did not win a 1 that year.
Okay, look, I had 2. Look, check this out. In 2014, I'm in 2 championships, right? One of them I took home. That one felt good. It was the music league. Then there was this other one with the homies, right? And one of my boys who was out of the playoffs, he was like, you really about to start Jeremy Hill against the Browns? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, bruh. He's like, I'm telling you, bro. Like, he's like, they come to play when they play the Bengals, bro. And he's like, and this dude, man, I'll even say his name, man. Shout out to Chris Vetter. Actually, fuck him. Actually, if you're watching this, fuck you.
Was he right or was he wrong?
He was wrong.
And so you would have been
I
right.
had it right.
Yeah.
And it was one of those. It was Jeremy Hill's his rookie year. You know what I'm saying? He was that second half season darling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he went crazy, like 30 points in the first quarter, bro. And this fool, I was so high on him, like, you motherfucker, dude. It was like one of the, because we were watching the games, like he came through and he's like, we about to start in the championship. And I'm showing him, bro. I'm hella confident. Yeah, bro, I'm about to smash this shit. Ooh. And I fucking lost. I was so high on him.
And seeing like that's the tough thing is like getting the
listen though, but see,
you never asked for advice. You got the unwarranted advice.
This was important though. I stopped like now if I share something I'm doing with somebody, you know what I mean? It's more so me bouncing off what I'm about to do versus soliciting the advice. Or what's the word I'm looking for? Not soliciting, looking for it.
Yeah.
What's the opposite of selling for it? Like trying to acquire the advice. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm trying to find bigger words so I sound like I'm smart.
And see, you know what's funny is like that the show The League, like it really gives a peek into like the fantasy football world for those who like don't really know about it. And then if people want to get nostalgic, like going back and watching it now, because most of this shit happened before the internet was as crazy as it is. You know, like, I mean, I didn't have my Facebook advice group or anything when the league was going on. Like that shit ended in like 2013, 2014. Those Facebook groups weren't even really a thing then. And like there's always this one guy, Ruxin, the lawyer, he's always tinker stinker, like that's his thing, and like always tinkering with his lineup, and most of the time it fucks him up tinkering. And there was this one episode where like he's literally talking to like sparking up conversations with new random people to talk about his lineup to get advice, and like polling the entire world. Like, who should I start? You know, like out of these couple guys, and like
that's funny.
And then it's like they're his two homies. They're over drinking a beer, and they're like, "Is he asking more people about his lineup?" Like it's just going on the entire show. Because I think he might have been in the championship. I can't remember, but that's what's cool about the league. Also, like the show, like winning a championship is like life for them. Like that's how big winning a championship is, and. I mean, I think some people might have lost that fact because so many of these leagues are like so watered down and, you know, and shit now, but that's a good feeling to be a champion. And I'm watching it, and there was season 3 or season 4. I can't remember what it is, but he wants to have a new baby. He's losing his mojo, and he's like telling his wife he wants to have a new kid. And she said, if you win the Shiva Bowl, you can put one in me. If you win the championship, you can put one in me. Oh, and it's funny because he wins the championship, and then she tells him that you already won. I'm pregnant. And he's like, what? You're pregnant? And she was like, yeah. And he was like, you know what? Any asshole can have a kid, okay? I want to be a champion, baby.
Yes.
So funny. And it goes so deep that they made to make certain things happen. He gave up naming rights to his son.
For real?
Yeah. And the naming rights got traded in the draft, so the guy could get the number 1 pick in the draft.
What did they name the kid?
Chalupa Batman.
Oh shit! That's on a different level, bro.
And so they call him CB.
Oh shit!
CB
I mean, like we make motherfuckers do stand up. You know what I mean? As a loser, motherfucker got to do stand up at the Improv. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That shit would be fucking funny. Just
roast. But damn, bro. The naming rights, and it went around like that was like a trade piece.
That was a trade piece to get the number 1 overall pick.
Was it a boy or a girl?
It was a boy.
Oh, shit.
Yep. Chalupa Batman. Anthony shouted out, and Dion said it. Baby Chalupa. So funny.
Oh shit, that's funny as a motherfucker.
And it's both. It's the husband and the wife that are in the league. So everything that happens for the league, like they let go. And,
she's in the league too.
Yeah. So it first starts off to where she's giving the husband all the advice, and it's like a big joke, like, "Oh, your wife runs your team," and all that. And he always says, "I don't," but she was the one running the team. And he didn't want to let her play because then that goes his advice. And but she got pissed because she's like, "You never win. I'm giving you all this advice and it's just falling on deaf ears and you never win."
Yeah. Damn.
And they're only in an 8-man league. And everybody, like every time they mention it, they always get made fun of. Like the most recent episode is like JJ Watt coming in there in like the fourth season, I think, 4th or 5th, I can't remember. And it's like, "What kind of league you guys play?" And he's like, "Oh, it's an 8-team league." And it's like, "Come on, man, you guys can't step it up by now."
Yeah. Hey, JJ Watt, this is like 2010, huh?
Yeah. There's one episode that's funny. Okay, you Jordan Cameron and Cameron Jordan. You remember those guys, right?
Yep.
So
tight end
and defensive end.
Yep.
Jordan Cameron is
oh my God. Okay, I've been mistaken these two before, or I've asked you on a high moment. I'm like, which one's the one? And you're like, you've seen the league. That's how it all started before.
Yeah.
I was like, no.
I was just watching that. And he was so pissed because in the draft, he was like, "Cameron Jordan." And they're like, "For Cameron Jordan? Yeah, that's it." And they had to write it in defensive end for the New Orleans Saints. No. And I wanted Jordan Cameron. And like, nope, too late. And and Jordan Cameron and Cameron Jordan both show up to this funeral that JJ Watt's at because the guy, like, he knows the celebrities and stuff. And to fuck with Ruxin, like they have both of them go up to him and say hi to him, and they're like, "Hey, you know these guys?" And he was like, "Yeah, you're Cameron." And he couldn't remember who's who, and he was like, "I drafted Cameron Jordan," and they were like, "Oh, so you play in an IDP league, huh?" And then the other guy, Pete's like, "Kevin, do we play with IDPs?" And he's like, "No, we don't." And just making him look stupid. And Ruxin was like, "Yeah, but I told them we need to be playing in IDP leagues. I mean, it's very progressive, And Pete's like, "Wait, you said the exact opposite. You were like, I only want to spend 1 pick on one of these shit-sipping defenses, not a whole bunch of picks on them," and just putting them on blast in front of everybody.
Oh shit! At a funeral too.
At a funeral, yeah.
Yeah,
and Dion, anyone else get Rafi vibes from Bogard? It's the beard, is what it is. We've already.
It's funny because people have told me that before. I brought that up to you.
It's got to be the beard, like that. It's the look more than anything. It's not your personality, because Rafi's crazy. I mean, even crazier than you.
See, that intrigues me more.
So when he talks, when there's a beef going on, he's got to have a knife. He's got to have the knife out. So like he's going up to talk to Andre about like they're managing like Ruxin's team. Ruxin has a stroke and they're managing his team. And he was like, "Hey, I'm next of kin, motherfucker. Like, I'm the one who's going to be fucking running his team." And he pulls out a knife. And Andre, I mean, he's a little square ass, and he's like, "Oh, like, what are you doing?" He was like, "What? You don't talk with a knife?" He's like, "Here, take this one," and gives him a knife so he could like have it too.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I feel that. I mean,
it's good logic.
Oh, it's funny, man. Yeah, Rafi's a savage. And Taco's the best character because he's the weed smoking guy. Plus, he's the entrepreneur. He's the one. His first real big hit was buying DallasCowboys.com and selling it back to Jerry Jones for like $250,000.
That's it?
Well, I mean, this was back in 2011.
Oh, but then he owns some back end shit?
No.
No.
He wanted that. He wanted to be able to post on DallasCowboys.com whenever he wanted. And he's like, "Well, what kind of stuff are you going to post?" He's like, "Well, it'd be blog stuff, maybe hummus recipes and, just things like that."
Nice. I like hummus.
And it was cool though, because they actually got to go to like the Dallas Cowboys like training camp or whatever. And Jason Witten And damn, who was the I can't even think of who the running back was in there, but so the way that they chose the draft order, it was actually pretty dope. So they were on one side of the field, they had to run all the way to the other side of the field, and whoever made it first wins. But training camp was going on like during that, so like players are like smashing them and shit, and they're just running into shit. Jason Witten gets the machine that shoots the ball, and they start shooting balls at the guys and knocking them in the head and shit. So that shit was that was pretty creative for all the draft order, races that they did. Yeah. Ooh, time to smoke another one. But yeah, the league, man, that show's so nostalgic. You gotta watch that shit. And yeah, here's another one, the EBDBBNB, the Eskimo Brothers Bed and Breakfast. And Taco, like, man, this guy, he's got Eskimo Brothers for days. So Eskimo Brothers, when you had two guys had sex with the same woman, for those who don't know or didn't see the league. And Taco, like, he doesn't know what anybody does, but like one of his Eskimo brothers is Snoop. And he just knows that he's Snoop's Eskimo brother. He doesn't know what Snoop does. And like Marshawn Lynch is one of his Eskimo brothers and invests in Taco Corp. And man, they even did a play on the Super Bowl where they're both sitting down in a chair, and Marshawn, he's like, or Taco, he's like, let me throw you a beer. And Marshawn's like, nah, just hand it off to me, man. He's like, let me throw it to you. Like, what's the worst that can happen? He's like, nah, just hand it to me, man. Let me get it. Let me just hand it to me. He's like, no, I'm just going to throw it to you. What's the worst that can happen? I don't even remember what happens, but something bad happened when he threw that beer to him. Yeah. Clock in the building said he was a notary.
What up, Clock?
He was a notary from Venezuela also. Like, that shit was so funny. So he didn't take any notary classes or anything. He just found a notary stamp, and he started charging people for the to use him as a notary service. And man, that's just so funny because he was like acting legit about it the whole time. And even the lawyer Ruxin was like using him to get like real important documents like notarized and stuff like that.
Nice.
He's such a savage, man. He is such a savage.
Hey, shout out to my man Clark. Miss you, brother.
Yeah, shout out
to
to Clark.
Be safe. We're gonna rock soon.
And Clock said Rafi with the paintball is classic. Yeah, they go on the paintball, one of the paintball fucking games or whatever. And Rafi's out. He's like, I've been living off the land for 3 days out here, getting the lay of the land. Like, he's really living it out there. Yeah, and Dion said Rafi and Taco carry the whole show. Hell yeah, man, because those are like, yeah, I mean, it's the comic relief from those guys, but I mean, they just take it to a whole nother level. And like, I mean, Taco being the stoner is just fucking awesome, man, because he ends up being the most successful out of all of them too. That's what's so funny. Like, I mean, his ideas really hit. Yeah, Dion said Vernon Davis was his ex-Eskimo brother too. Man, okay, one of the funniest things that they did on there, it was so fucked up. Like, so Andre, the nerdy one, he creates a fake Vernon Davis profile, and like he's posting all this random shit on there, and he's like, he makes Pete like follow him. That's the main dude who everybody hates because he's the one who wins the most. And Taco was like, you know a Vernon Davis? He was like, I know a Vernon Davis. He was like, you want to meet him sometime? And Andre's like, sure. And it ends up being the Vernon Davis. He's like, what? You said you knew a Vernon Davis. You didn't say you knew the Vernon Davis. And he was like, what? You know who he is? Because Taco doesn't know who anybody is. He just meets all these random celebrities and like is so cool. Smokes mad weed and everyone loves him.
Yeah.
And he donates a lot of his money to charity and stuff too. That's another thing. And so, and Pete in this episode is like having an affair with some chick, and something happens to where like, I mean, Andre's just being dumb, but like offers his house up. He ends up getting punched and all this. And Taco tells Vernon Davis the story. He was like, you know what? We're going to get Pete back. He was like, he's having the affair and you're the one who gets punched in the face. He was like, that's not right. And so Vernon Davis puts on a fake cast and says that he broke his ankle and he's not playing in the game. And so Pete doesn't play him because he sees that, because he's following him on Twitter. And then Vernon Davis goes ham in that game and Pete loses the game because
yes.
And this was like a couple month plan. The long con is what they call it. And man, he got him with that long con.
That's a good long con.
Oh yeah, he got him. And
that's so dope how they get the players involved too in all the seasons.
That's the coolest thing about it, because even in season 1, I mean, I think Antonio Gates was in season 1. But yeah, that's probably the coolest thing about it, is the players actually getting involved in the show. And man, even so one of the seasons I was watching recently, they were doing it was like something at the combine, but it was like Mike Evans was there and whoever else were some of the top rookies, projected in that draft were fucking on the show. Like couple years before that, they had RG3 on the show and Trent Richardson. Those were like the two guys who they showed like the draft walking up to the podium to be drafted.
2012-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever that was. And Justin said, I'm in love with Ruxin's wife, though. Isn't everybody, man? She's
bad.
Yeah, Puerto Rican, and he outkicked his coverage like by a I don't know, like by 10 miles. Like he definitely shouldn't be, and he knows it too. He was like, no way, I would never divorce my wife. He was like, have you seen her? He was like, I would pretty much be paying for her to get nailed by other dudes because my wife's hot and she would get nailed by other dudes. And he was like, man, I'm rocking like 30% coverage on the kid like 50% of the time. He was like, if you had to rock 100% coverage 50% of the time, he's like, nah, I can't do that. And Dirty Randy is a classic character. He's it's Seth Rogen, and he's a porn director, and him and Rob direct porn together.
Seth Rogen's a fool with it.
Yeah, it's so funny because they're gonna have a porno shot at Andre's apartment, and it's gonna be one of these things that he doesn't know about. Going to be one of those long cons, and they're talking to Dirty Randy, and they're like, okay, so what's going to happen? Like, guys are going to come in, you're going to do this, then you're going to clean up afterwards. And he's like, clean up? He's like, my name's fucking Dirty Randy. I don't fucking clean anything. We don't clean anything. And he was like, we do this, but we don't do this. He was like, oh, so you do this and this, but that's where you draw the line. So fucking funny. Hess in the building. What up, bro?
What up, Hess?
Oh, that's what it was. Antonio said Kevin ran into the fire pit trying to grab the beer. Yeah, when because obviously they're doing the play on Marshawn not getting the ball handed off to him in the Super Bowl. Yeah, throws the beer and then Kevin gets all fucked up in there. Nice.
Oh, so that's what he does. So Kevin intercepts the beer.
Yeah, but in the fire and shit. Yeah, and falls in there and everything just goes wrong. And Dion said that was actually probably one of the best parts. Tell him about the auto draft, Huss. Oh man, yeah. So the year, remember the lockout year?
Yeah.
In the NFL. Okay, so for that year, they did a play on the lockout, and so it's the porno that's being shot in there, and but the door gets locked, and they're locked out of the draft, and so everything just gets auto drafted. It's like the first and only year that they do it like on the computer, and they send Andre to some restaurant or something, and he's drafting on his computer remotely, and then everyone else is supposed to be putting their picks like on the like just on the computer or whatever on ESPN. So that's why all the auto drafts were fucked up. And
hold on. So they even show that they use ESPN.
Yeah.
Damn, poor guys.
Yep. I mean, this was back when like
it was like that in Yahoo.
Yeah, pretty much. And and there could be some people who didn't even know fucking about Yahoo because ESPN probably was the most popular. They're the only one with like having shows and shit, where they're even talking about it. But yeah, so the auto draft, everybody got fucked in the auto draft. And Andre, he's like drafting, and he was like, "Man, I didn't even know that this was gonna be like an extra draft." It's like everything was happening, like all of his what's it called, his mock drafts and stuff that he was doing. His shit is never like the mock drafts. And and Clock says, "Why do people like JT so much more than Najee?" I honestly don't know. I mean, I have JT like a tick over Najee, but I'm more excited to get Najee because I don't have to get him with the 101.
Yeah, that's probably the argument. But like, I'm not gonna bank on as many receptions for JT than Najee, right? But also, I don't think Najee repeats what he did last year as far as receptions. So it's like, what is the difference? Because it's whether or not you think JT can get like 50 balls. You know what I mean? Can JT get 50 balls with Matt Ryan? You know what I mean? Probably.
Probably can.
Yeah, right.
So
that's the upside. That's
Well,
the upside of taking JT over Harris.
But you don't think that Najee can come down with 74 receptions again?
I think Najee's good for like 50.
So let's see, 74.
Because because for what it's worth, Trubisky will take off here and there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
so I guess the difference from 50 to 74 is so 50, that's 2.94 receptions per game. So I think that should be a lock. Like,
yeah, that's a lock.
I think that's his floor, honestly. Getting to the 74, that was a little more than 4 games. So I mean, there would have to be.
So we can meet in the middle where you can give him like 60 grabs.
So let's see, what would 60 be at the 17? 3.5. So 60 would be 3.5 a game.
That's doable.
That's doable. I think 50 is the floor, but I definitely think that he gets into that 80 range. Like, I mean,
man, I'm trying to remember the numbers because I remember I went and did this shit, bro. Because I'd be going down the rabbit holes. I went down the rabbit hole when they first signed Trubisky. I was like, okay, let me look at Trubisky. Just
okay. Here we go. Here's one. Okay, so James Conner. I mean, we don't really think of him too much as like a pass catching running back, right?
Yeah, but see, there was like half the season with no Chase Edmonds, who was
no. I'm going back to the Steelers. Fuck the Cardinals. I'm going back to the Steelers. So that first year.
No, but see, you can go back as far as you want. I'm saying it was Big Ben, though. That's the thing, though. Big Ben is King Dump It Off. You know what I mean?
But you don't think? I mean, he wasn't always King Dump It Off. Like, that's not true.
I'm just saying though. Like, I'm talking about with Najee.
Yards. He threw for 5,000 yards.
I'm talking about with Najee.
I'm talking. Well, we're going back to James Conner now. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm going back just to the history.
Okay, I like history. Let's go back.
And so, look, 2018. He only starts 12 games. He gets 71 targets, 55 receptions, 497 yards. That's not even in a full season. James Conner's not even that pass-catching dude. This is just their scheme. Like, I know we could say it was always Big Ben, but they've been running the scheme for a long fucking time.
See, but back then, it was, what's his name? Todd Haley. Todd Haley is you know what I'm saying? Todd Haley is why we loved a lot of running backs. But if you look at where Todd Haley used to be in Kansas City back in the day, you know what I mean? Like Todd Haley's a dude that he wanted to feed. One running back's going to do it all. So he did that with Le'Veon, you know what I mean? Then they moved on to James Conner. That's why I was so big on Nick Chubb even, bro. Because Todd Haley was there with Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? In 2018.
But what changed though? What changes? Because it's Matt Canada, and he's been there since 2020. So what big shit changed from their offensive scheme from back then, Haley, till now? Because it looks exactly.
They got him over. He likes to run. He likes to run like a kind of a rip off, a wannabe zone type of shit. You know what I mean? But like.
Isn't that good for pass catching running backs?
Yeah. I mean, see, so it's built in. And see, I was just about to say too, when you go back and you look at Trubisky, even when he had like Jordan Howard and Tariq
this
Cohen.
dude he's only fucking coached in college before getting to the Steelers.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. He's trying to run like this one. But you know what though? With Trubisky having a bigger arm, I'm wondering if they're gonna. You know what I mean? Like, I'm wondering what the approach is. You know what I mean? Because getting Kenny Pickett also is like, maybe that, you know what I mean? Because he have like a quarter college type of coach. You know what I mean?
And this dude used to be a quarterback's coach as well. Like
Matt Canada.
Playing Canada.
Yeah, I remember when they announced it back in 2020. I was laughing. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah. But
before that, it was like the quarterback coach that was in-house. You feel me?
Yeah.
Big Ben had to get rid of all of them because that quarterback, the guy before that, he was like a Todd Haley disciple. See, that's fucked up too because Todd Haley was he was like one of those like run game geniuses, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like they had that offense crazy. AB was going crazy. Le'Veon Bell was going crazy. Big Ben's throwing for 5 thou. But Big Ben don't like that. He's like, fuck that. Fuck this motherfucker.
Yeah.
They ain't win.
Hey.
And when you ain't win, you gotta start blaming motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
I think Najee's going to be the shit this year, and I'm gonna be really excited to get him in a hand.
I'd rather have Najee though too because like this the only time I'm ever really gonna have JT is if I'm number one in a single QB draft.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because if I'm number one in the Superflex, I'm going that QB. You know?
Well, yeah. See, you can't say never because if you play in one of these 3 QB leagues that I'm in, like JT might not even go in the first round.
Yeah, see,
we've seen crazy shit happen.
But just for the context of like, hey, listen, I'm not faulting anyone if they have Harris over JT either. You know what I mean? I would rather have the guaranteed receptions, but I also like an offense that's gonna get me in the scoring position. Like I feel like this, like everything, I can get everything I want out of Najee as far as the run game. But even better with a better line in Indy, and you know what I'm saying, and they also have a good defense. You know what I mean? But I think with Mitch, like he has the potential to get in a lot of shootouts. You know what I mean? That's the one thing. Is like, but I'm curious what kind of game they're gonna have to play. Like it's gonna be run the ball and motherfucking. But yeah, if they're in a lot of shootouts, man, you're still gonna get them greasy receptions. That's what we want. And you know what I mean? But I feel like, okay, would you bet on this? Would you bet on that JT is going to be in more scoring position than Najee, like versus Matt Ryan versus Mitchell, basically?
Yeah, I'd say that's probably the biggest, like, the biggest argument for the JT side is going to be the touchdowns.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Najee barely cracked 10 last year, and I know he could get to 10 again, and he should. I mean, JT's one of those dudes, if they do it right, I mean, 16 plus touchdowns, you know, could be in the cards.
You ain't lying. I mean, because he could be the and also if you think about Najee, he could be the entire offense. Like when they do get down there, they punch it in. Like for example, like it's a motherfucking they're just winning games low scoring. You know what I mean? 14-10 type of shit. You know
who
what
you gonna trust, Najee or fucking Trubisky? I think they'd be trusting Najee and giving him a lot of first chances over Trubisky.
Yeah, and then if they get in some, if they have, you know, and they. Who's pulled their schedule? I know they have a tough schedule. Let's see this because I remember I went down this rabbit hole. Now I think about it, I was like, their schedule is kind of rough, bro.
I mean, shit. When you play in a division with 4 teams, you know, that are competing, and maybe the Browns, you know, we're not thinking that highly of them right now, but either way, like, they always compete inter-division. So let's see here. All right, they got, I mean, shit, right out the gate, the Bengals. And then, what up, Mike? What's going down, bro? No mocks today. We got a bunch of the Derby drafts that I got to get through. So that's going to take up a lot of my day today. Let's see. And so they got the Bengals in week 1, Patriots, Browns, Jets, Bills, Bucks, Dolphins, Eagles, Saints, Bengals, Colts, Falcons, Ravens, Panthers, Raiders, Ravens, Browns. I only see 3 gimme games on there. The Jets, Atlanta, and the Panthers.
Yeah.
And maybe they're not gimme games, but I think their defense could overpower and get them the dubs. But outside of that, it's a lot of 50-50 games and a lot of games where they look like they're going to be the underdog.
And then if it does eventually become Pickett for some reason, they will lean on Najee even more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's just what you do with a rookie.
I mean, like Trubisky hasn't started in what? He hasn't started in like 2 years at this point. Like, I don't think anyone's given Trubisky a shot to just go out there and fucking air it out like crazy.
It's crazy because he's been in the playoffs 2 out of the 4 years he was in Chicago.
Yeah. No playoff
crazy.
wins though, right?
No.
What's
But,
worse?
I mean,
making it to the playoffs and not winning, or never making it to the playoffs?
never making it.
Even if it's not, it definitely wasn't because of him that they.
Hey,
made
listen,
the
the
playoffs.
double doink. Listen, he threw the thing that Allen Robinson, boom, got him in field goal position. That motherfucker kicked that shit triple to do.
Ron
Remember
tied
that
it up,
shit?
double doink.
That
There we
shit.
go.
Fuck
He said that
up.
wasn't his fault.
You know what I mean? He would have. I mean, okay, look at this. This is why I love Kirk Cousins, because he was already they didn't want to cash him out, so he was getting the franchise thing. Then he takes him to the playoffs, and he's like, not so good, just double franchise thing. And then even though he didn't have no playoff win, he took them to the Washington to the motherfucking playoffs, right? And then he cashes out first all guaranteed joint with Minnesota. It was 3 years, right? So out of the first 2 years, what was it? The first year was 2018, 2019 gets him in there. Then they lose to this. They beat the Saints. So now he has the playoff win under his belt, right? There's not too many other motherfuckers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they can say that, you know what I mean? Like, okay, Baker, he has one, right? Obviously, Mighty Joe Young, he got a few because he went all the way to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I call it the Kaepernick argument. Like Kaepernick got more playoff wins than most of these motherfuckers. Wouldn't you want that? That was like proof that he was blackballed. You know what I mean? Like back then, that used to be my proof. But it's like, yeah, because there's not too many motherfuckers. That's why I say just to get there is better, because then that hella helps your resume. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like what's crazy is like, or you gotta own the journeyman shit.
Yeah,
Like,
and I mean,
like
I
Ryan
guess-
Fitzpatrick. You know
yeah,
what I
there's
mean?
some people who are made for that, but man, if you
Ryan
can hold
Fitzpatrick
down,
never got to the dance. He never got to the dance, B. Not even to the dance.
no, and but he was so like and fantasy like excellence, because like you're never having to draft him early. A lot of times you pick him up as a waiver wire, especially all these people are in 1 QB leagues. Man, I remember one of my first championships was with Ryan Fitzpatrick, him and Stevie Johnson in 2010, just coming on the
That's
scene.
a nice stack right there.
Oh yeah, it was nasty. And
Hey,
QB
okay,
league.
hold on. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. Where did that wasn't where he started, right? Buffalo wasn't where he started.
Who, Ryan Fitzpatrick?
Yeah.
I think it was. I'm going
Was
double
it?
check.
Okay.
that, but-
Because I always thought it was, but someone tried to correct me. This is like
Oh
thousands.
no, he didn't know. Like fuck.
Okay.
No, he was already a journeyman at that point.
Okay.
He started off with the St. Louis Rams. I mean, he's drafted in the 7th round in 2005. So he's with
he
the
was
Saints.
drafted as the journey. Hey, he's hard, man.
That's fucking dope. Like
Hey,
this,
shout out to him, man.
man. to turn-
Okay, hold on. 2007 even.
Yeah. So that was 2005. So 2005,
Oh,
2006,
2005.
he's with the Rams, and then he's with the Bengals in 07 and 08, and then he's with the Bills from 2009 to 2012. So that's his longest stint with any team, is because he was fucking balling. And then he goes to the Titans, then to the Texans, then to the Jets for 2 years, then to the Bucks for 2 years.
Hey, look at when he was with the
for 2 years.
Texans, bro. He had Nuke, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2014.
I was already playing fantasy then. That's why. Hey, shout out to fucking the Magic Man, bro. He's like fantasy, like goat.
And seeing, man, that was Hopkins was it was his
What
second
up?
year. Second year.
Hold on, I'm like in the Matrix all of a sudden. Go ahead, keep talking. It'll clear up.
Okay. Yeah, that was Hopkins' second year in with the Texans. So
Oh yeah, second year. Yeah.
that was dope. Yeah, fucking
Yeah, that's right.
Fitzpatrick,
He had like
man.
1,100, huh?
Let's see. I know he had a shit ton in those couple years.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
1,200, 6 touchdowns, 76 receptions. Then was that next year after that 2015 year?
yeah, when he went-
1,500,
when he went crazy.
111 receptions, 11 touchdowns. That was nasty. And then 2018, I had him on a championship team in 2018. 1572, 115 receptions, 11 touchdowns. Killing it.
Sick.
And Mike said, I'm assuming the Derby leagues are filled. Yeah, so this is for the tournament that we're doing. But if you want to be on standby, it's a $22 league. There's still a couple people who haven't paid. I'm still trying to collect from them. We gave certain deadlines that still haven't came up yet. But if anyone ghosts, I'm going to need a couple replacements, and so I can get you to that list. Devin said Mike Evans, 2023 second, 2023 fourth. Is this a whole trade? That can't be the whole trade. What's the whole trade, Devin?
I think that might be it, like those picks for Mike Evans.
I mean, if it is, I'm keeping Mike Evans for sure.
Yeah, I'll keep Mike Evans for the last hoorah. If I'm a competitor right now in that dynasty league, it's got to be dynasty, obviously. If I'm a competitor, bro, I'm trying to keep Mike Evans, or I'm selling him for something that I can compete with that's younger. Like if someone wants Mike Evans that bad, I'm like, give me, you know what I mean? Like if there's someone trying to compete.
Here we go. That wasn't the whole thing. Mike Evans, 2023 second, 2023 fourth, or Odell Juju Gibson.
Okay, now which side is he on? Because
well, I mean, it doesn't matter which side. Which side would you take out of that?
I'll take the Gibson side.
Yeah. I mean, Gibson's more of a win now for sure, but I think I'd still be on the Mike Evans side of this. I mean, the picks or whatever, like that's almost irrelevant, like to me in this. But I mean, Odell, we just don't know what's going to happen. Juju, we definitely don't know what's going to happen. We just know he's paired with Mahomes. Gibson's already hurt. We really don't know how the offense is really going to work.
Point.
And Mike
Evans, in a vacuum, I'd want all that because you know, I mean, I'd want the Gibson and the Juju's and the Odell. Like, I mean, that is that's a throw-in, but it's a hell of a throw-in. You know
he said he'd be getting Evans. I mean, if you could get another player in there.
He would be getting Evans.
Yeah.
And the picks. Yeah, give me some. See what other players you can get. Tell us what this man's roster looks like and where we can attack, and maybe even or what you need. If you need, because it looks like he's giving them a package just to get one solid piece. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then taking the shot on those other two picks. Yeah, and I mean the Gibson side's still a little bit more valuable, but I'd rather have Evans and just get top heavy. I mean, he's the best player in this draft, or best player out of all of these in this trade, is what I'm saying. And he said it's Pruitt in our league. You better watch out, bro. Better watch out.
Which league is this?
I'm not sure. This is the 4 Life League. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. I'd still want the Evans side, but it is giving up a lot. I'd try to figure out how to get some other.
I'm trying to get more.
And Ron said, I definitely the Gibson and a first. Well, there was no first in there. And Antonio said Fitz and Decker and Marshall. That was nasty when he was on the Jets. You had to be loving at that time, right, Antonio?
2015, and then when one of them. Was it 20? I think it was 2016 when one of them went down, or both of them went down. Even it was Quincy Nunwa. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like Fitzy just took over that thing. That's when they had Todd Bowles, I think, and it was that same dude, the same dude from Buffalo. Gates.
Okay. Was he the OC or something?
The OC. I'm saying his name wrong, but he was the OC in Buffalo and the Jets, and then he was there that year with Tua and Fitzmagic.
Okay.
Remember that when the Tua and Fish, they just kept they're like, you know what, throw Fitz in there.
Yeah. And Ryan Fitzpatrick, shout out to another person who made a cameo.
Glaze. Damn, I know his name. I'm trying to remember his name, bro. It kills me that I don't know this right now.
McDermott, Ronald said.
Huh? Nah.
Nope. But that is pretty dope that it's the offensive coordinator who keeps bringing him in.
Yeah.
And he knows how good he fucking is and how smart he is.
Yeah, he has my because he was supposed to be the backup for Geno Smith. Remember?
Yeah.
And then
Was that when Geno got punched in the face?
The dude broke his jaw.
He's like, first off, Fitzpatrick's better, and you stole money from me. Wow.
Fitzmagic came in there and they had hella weapons for fantasy. He was going crazy. They almost got to the playoffs. I think they had 10 wins, bro.
And man, and really like Washington's what put him over the edge, or not Washington. My bad. Tampa Bay when Winston.
I'm trying to remember when that is. Was that 2015 or 16? That's 15 maybe.
The Jets was 2015.
Yeah,
when he had both of them, and
I'm trying to. Damn, what the fuck is that coach's name, bro? He was the OC. Goddamn it!
What year was
fuck
he?
it. I'm over it.
What year was he the OC?
He was there like 2015, but he was the dude. He was there with him in Buffalo, and then he was there with him in Miami when they had two as a rookie and a sophomore.
Gailey,
there it is. I was like Glaze.
Chan Gailey,
there he is.
There we go.
Thank you.
All right.
I was gonna be taking a dump and be like, Chan Gailey, there it is. And then,
so I think the Tampa Bay is what put Ryan Fitzpatrick like on with the masses, because like that's already when social media was getting more popular, and the swag with putting all the chains on, and Deshaun Jackson letting him wear his swag and shit and going up there, like that just turned him into a fantasy rock star at that point, because like.
But we all know. See, but here's the thing. He is the magic man for a reason, because he has the magic dust, right? But that shit wears off after like 4 or 5 weeks. You know what I mean? Due to injury, or they just bench you because he'll have like those 4-pick games. Remember when it was him and Winston, bro, combined in 2018? Him and Winston combined matched Patrick Mahomes' numbers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was crazy. And then the next year, Winston, he does like the best numbers, but with 30 picks as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like if you played in best ball and you had the Winston Fitzpatrick stack, might have won you a championship.
See, the other night, where I fucked up, where I should have critiqued my shit is like when I got Winston in that mock, I should have like later on than the motherfucker grabbed Andy Dalton. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. Antonio said, definitely. I went to 3 games that year. I bet, man, that was the year to be going. The fantasy, implications that year were fucking awesome. And because, Marshall and Decker, those guys were drafted, but I don't even know if Fitzpatrick was drafted, in fantasy in a lot of leagues that year. I mean, super flex probably, but, 1 QB still, the main form. And Bogey got a call going into the Matrix. Let's get this last bowl, and we're going to get the hell up out of here. Got to start planning the rest of the day with all these derby drafts. Actually, let's get something going.
Man, ain't nothing wrong with smoking weed. Weed is from the earth. God put this here for me and you. Take advantage, man. Don't give me that shit about it's a drug. It ain't no motherfucking drug. I done the research. It's just a plant. It just grows like that. And if you just so happen to set it on fire, there are some effects.
There are some effects. Woo! All right. Appreciate you guys hanging with us for this weekly wake and bake session. Yeah, every week. Don't forget, guys, it's going to be 8 West Coast time, 11 Eastern in the morning. And said, but my buddy keeps distracting me with all these YouTube live streams. Ha, love him, dude. We'll see you guys later. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Peace out.
Are you ready, Jerry?
I'm ready.
Just want to make sure you're ready, brother.
Show me the money.
Oh, you didn't know? Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling.
You put my shoes on, you wouldn't last a mile. Summertime, wintertime, I'm on the grind. Yeah, I got the ring, I'm the champ, I'm the genie of the lamp.
This is the gift I was given, so I just live by my hustle.
money, money.
Called out here for a pill. When he tryna get this money for the real.
I want to find a thing to save my life, so I hustle.
It ain't over for me. No, it ain't over for me.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Okay, let's go smoke that joint.